Friends, it's SP, and I wanted to come on and just talk through different ways that you can navigate conversations with your kids with regards to what's happening in today's society. It's a very hard time and challenging conversation to navigate, especially when you don't feel that you're equipped to have these conversations. And so I'm here to try to give you some resources for us to be able to push through and have these conversations together. I'm speaking from my own true perspective of thinking through different ways of how to communicate from my daughter without projecting my feelings and just giving her an opportunity to process and think through her own emotions, what she's been able to observe, but then also think through different things that she would want to do to potentially push towards change. As a society, there are different systems that are in place that are not necessarily in the best interest of people. And so as parents, we have to be very critical and concrete with regards to how it is that we approach situations and conversations so that our children can learn to think on their own. And so I would encourage every parent to not shy away from the conversation. Too often, we as parents, me included, we choose not to have these conversations because we are overly concerned about how our kids are going to perceive the situation, what they're going to think about, or we're worried about oversensitizing or pushing them to be numb because we don't want to deal with it. This is not the time to ignore. This is not the time to not allow your child to process their thinking. So first things first, though, parents, before you engage in a conversation that could be heavy and weighty, it's important that you take care of yourself. And so if that means taking some time away, because, some parents may not have the opportunity to take a day, but taking some time away to deplug, remove yourself from social media, remove yourself from television, and kind of decompress all your feelings or emotions, whether it be with your partner, whether it be with your friend, where you have an opportunity to express your raw feelings about situations and things that are going on. Then from there, after the debunking and being able to decompress, you'll be able to have a clearer head when conversing with your child regarding the things that are happening in the world from a very objective perspective versus subjective. So first things first, parents, please take care of yourself. Taking the time to pause, to reflect, to think, and to process is key. And the cool thing is, by you doing this, you're modeling for your child how to navigate through situations that could be trying, that could be challenging, and you're modeling for them the process of thinking before they react, responding mainly before they react. Second thing, in having these conversations, allow your child to be free. Allow them to express their raw emotions. Don't try to prompt them and oversaturate the conversation with how you are feeling. Do not project. This is an opportunity for you to create a safe space for your kid to have a conversation with you about how they are truly feeling. And I believe in doing this, you model and kind of set up the expectations for future conversations that may be difficult, that may be challenging, but giving them the space to be able to express to you how they are feeling without you interrupting, and you allowing them just an opportunity to be free in their speech. Let them process their emotions with you, even if it's emotions that you may not necessarily agree with. If they're angry, let them be angry. If they're sad, if they're frustrated, if they're overwhelmed, allow them to express themselves so that you then can partner up and potentially work through a resolve or a solution together. But it's crucial and essential that you allow them first that safe space to be able to express themselves to you. Thirdly, after allowing them to express themselves, now you as the parent work and collaborate with your child to think through potential next steps into how to process those emotions. What can they do at home? One of my teachers talked about using your child's emotions to be expressed in movement. So choreographing a piece or allowing them to be expressive in the arts, through writing, through painting, through song, through dance. Give them an opportunity to express themselves by having an outlet. And then from there, creating consistent spaces throughout the week where you and your child are working together to think through what's actually happening in the world and what can they do about it. So now you've allowed them, one, to express their emotions by being vocal, two, put that into action in some form of outlet, and then three, this is where you work to come up with a solution. So now that you're angry and you're upset, what do we want to do about this? What are some next steps or some potential changes that you can foresee that we could potentially put into action? This is where you truly model for your kids what it means to be an advocate. What does it mean to fight for what it is that you want in a way that could be received by people? These are different ways, again, that we help in continuing this conversation. It is a horrible time right now, but even in the midst of chaos and crisis, right, we can learn to navigate through these different things and come up with potential solutions. As a collective, work together to think through how can we navigate these spaces? How can we talk through dismantling these different systems of oppression that are plaguing our community? Invite your kids in these conversations. You'll learn a lot about their thought process. You'll learn a lot about what they perceive and what is their vision or view of the world, and then it invites you into their perceptions, and that's a great place to be as a parent. I love being able to speak to my daughter and giving her free range to give me her opinions and her thoughts. It gives me a better understanding of who my child is, and so I would encourage you to do the same. Again, we're in this together, and I'm giving you these tips as I'm working them as well. So I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear how you're navigating through these times. And again, we're a community, we're a collective. Let's continue to grow together better. This has been your Moment with SP. I'll talk to you soon.